Hello everyone, Justin with Lucky8 Off-Road, and I am here with Erik, quite possibly the most handsome man you will ever see in a camouflage hat.
I'm sure he's seen some handsome men in the camouflage hat before. Shout out to Derek and Catherine with the pilgrimage. Looking forward to coming back this year.
Definitely got to make it to the pilgrimage. Awesome Land Rover event held where?
Vermont. Not just Land Rovers, all 4x4s.
Oh, I'm not going.
No,
we're definitely going there. Anyway. It's an awesome event. But today we're here with Project L405. If you recall, when we were doing our walkabout on the car when we first got it, had a bad shock. Here is what the shock looks like. And this is the reservoir. It was leaking right here just from some corrosion. We got a new set that we're gonna put in, and in this video, I'm gonna show you how to do it. Before we get to that, Erik's gonna tell us everything I need to know about this shock. Go.
First, it's shock, top mount, bottom mount. Reservoir, as you said, it's what goes bad. We've got them in stock. Chances are, if you're buying a used L405, even the new Defenders, these are what are going bad on them. Trucks driving on the road, I'm dropping my kids off at school, and it's just bouncing. I didn't really notice it as much because I was driving an LR3 before. Justin jumped in and was like, this truck's not riding right, because he's bougie like that, and he can tell. So we're going to put it in, and the ride's going to be much better on our way to Winter Rock next week.
All right. Roll the intro. We're going to get this car in the air, and this is a job that you are going to want to have a friend for. Okay, here in the back, in the boot, I've pulled the little storage panel out of the way. On this particular car, we're doing some other projects, so the interior is out. Perfect time to do this video. You're looking for the upper shock mount, and it's right here. There's a piece of foam wrapped around the shock. You're gonna wanna just kind of reach your hand in there, pull the foam out of the way. Set that aside. Way you can put it back, and you'll have your ride quality nice and quiet. Super, super, super important. These are electronic shocks, and you want to pinch this clip and pull the wire off. I'm going to bring the camera in, show you the clip, and show you how to take it out. We'll also show you where all the bolts are. We're going to loosen them up, get them out of the way, and then we will get the lower shock mount off. There's just the 3 bolts up top. We're using a 17 mil socket, and the one way in the back next to the support bar for the seat is difficult. I like to drop the socket in and then put the extension on to break it free. Then it pops right off. I'll get the remaining 2 out of the way, and next thing will be under the car, getting the bottom off. All right, the shock is completely free. It's right here. Now we just got to get the bottom out. It's held on with an 18, that's the bolt, and a 21 nut. We'll bring the camera and I'll show you exactly where they are. They come out really easy. Then we can get the shock out of the way and put the new one in. 18 and the 21. All right, this is where having a friend is absolutely critical. You can have somebody in the boot, and then the other person can send up the shock. There's another factor that's also important to note is the suspension without the shock has no limiting factor. It is just dropping down as far as it can, and it's binding against the bushings. That means that instead of having the shock go like this, the control arm is now going to push against the shock. So we're using our little floor jack here to push the control arm back up. And then Erik's gonna send me up the shock. I'll put the nuts on the top, like this, and then we'll bolt in the bottom. Job is almost done. Really, thank God I had some help. I've done this myself. It is a nightmare trying to hold the shock, climb in the boot, get the bolt and the nut together. So awesome if you have help. Next up, we're gonna use the jack, or if you're doing this in the driveway, the floor jack, kind of push up on it to align the shock to the little bolt hole. We'll get that in place, tighten everything down, easy peasy. And there you have it. That's how to change the rear shocks on your Range Rover L405. Anything to add?
Like you said, helpful to have a friend to do it. I understand you might have to struggle on the ground by yourself. Just having the right tools, the jack, and
Yeah, make sure that that control arm is pushed up. If you need to, deflate the suspension with your gap tool. If you don't have a gap tool, well, why don't you have a gap tool, right?
you need one. Absolutely. And again, if you have any questions when you're doing it, shoot us an email.
All right, guys. On that, we'll see you on the next one.